Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So, today is December 1st, and it's a Monday. I'm going to write a newsletter, so do check that out. Now, let's get started for today. Today, insight from Sadhguru on the Miracle of Mind app read Consciousness is the source of who we are. Our thoughts, intentions, and actions are a consequence of that. In the audio insight that accompanied this, Sadhguru goes on to say, our personality is an algorithm of the accumulated impressions that we acquire through the five senses, our genetic memories and our karmic memories. And that all that puts together creates an identity, and the algorithm works within that identity. However, if we are able to step past that and we are able to embrace an identity that is global or universal in nature, the algorithm will work for the greater good. And that is working from a place of the universal consciousness. That is our true nature. Sadhguru is talking about. That is what we are all capable of. And so, in the context of real wisdom, artificial intelligence, I've talked about a few times in the past in this series that the power of AI is that the AI by itself has no identity. It has access to all of the memories and the training data in the digital realm, and it is able to tap into that. It's a great tool because it is able to access all of the data in the digital realm, be trained on that, and infer based on that, and create something wonderful. And because it has no identity, now because of our own biases, we are giving it an identity. And that will eventually create this race scenario that I've talked about in the AI future modeling that the AI Futures project did. There are two scenarios. Both of those are races of varying degrees, and both those end up in a dystopian outcome for humanity. An alternate scenario, if we don't give AI an identity, if we truly embrace AI as a shared global utility, combined with that, if we are able to elevate our consciousness beyond these limited identities that we all take on and truly get connected with the universal consciousness, that scenario is very much possible. That is what I talk about as the journey from intelligence to consciousness, where we use AI as a shared global infrastructure. And on top of that, we step past our limited identities. So we are able to run our own algorithm beyond these identities and uplevel our consciousness. Then we can go from the race to what I have called a universal conscious grid scenario in future. And that is where there's shared global prosperity for all, not for a limited few. That is the future that I envision in this series. And that's what I talk about from the race to the conscious grid. That is the Rashmi journey. That's what I am passionate about trying to create through this series. So, with that, today's dose of Rashmi is unconscious intelligence gets trapped in narrow identity cages and experiencing life through that lens only. Wisdom, on the other hand, is the realization that consciousness is the source of everything. And make your identity as large as possible and operate from that towards a truly global future. And as I said, that will require us not to give identities to AI, but treat AI as the new electricity, as the new shared infrastructure, and uplevel our own journey of intelligence to consciousness, where we rise beyond the limited identities which we take on because of narrow association with whatever stories we start believing in. So if we can truly get past that to uplevel our consciousness to the conscious intellect level, and can have AI be the shared global infrastructure, we can definitely create this scenario, go from the race that we are in right now to a universal conscious grid. Thank you.